Commentary on Canto 2. The images. Mary, the Blessed Virgin, whom the Church calls Theotokos, Mother of God, is the historical and universal God-bearer, of whom Beatrice, like any other God-bearing image, is a particular type. Mary is thus, in an especial and supreme manner, the vessel of divine grace, as experienced in and mediated through the redeemed creation. Note that the name Mary, like the name of Christ, is never spoken in hell. Lucia, Saint Lucy, a virgin martyr of the 3rd century, is the patron saint of those with weak sight, and chosen here as an image of illuminating grace. Mary, Beatrice, and Lucia are a threefold image of divine grace in its various manifestations. Virgil's mission. Dante is so far gone in sin and error that divine grace can no longer move him directly, but there is still something left in him which is capable of responding to the voice of poetry and of human reason. And this, under grace, may yet be used to lead him back to God. In this profound and beautiful image, Dante places religion on the one hand and human art and philosophy on the other in their just relationship. Notes. On line 7. Canto 1 forms, as it were, a prologue to the whole Divine Comedy. The actual Inferno begins with Canto 2, and here we have the invocation, which in each of the 3 books prefaces the journey to hell, purgatory, and paradise, respectively. It is addressed in the classic manner to the Muses, to Genius, and to Memory, the mother of the Muses. As the story proceeds, Dante will invoke higher and still higher aid, till the final invocation, towards the end of Paradiso, is made to God, the Supreme Light himself. Line 13. The author of young Silvius' birth. Aeneas. The allusion is to the 6th book of the Aeneid, which describes how Aeneas visits Hades and is told that he is to settle in Italy, and so bring about the foundation of Rome, the seat both of the empire and the papacy. Line 16. Hell's great foeman, God. Line 28. The chosen vessel, St. Paul, Acts chapter 9, verse 15. His vision of hell is described in the 4th century apocryphal book known as the Apocalypse of Paul, which Dante had evidently read. There is probably also an allusion to 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 2. Line 52. The spirits who dwell suspense. Those of the virtuous pagans, who taste neither the bliss of salvation nor the pains of damnation, but dwell forever suspended between the two, in limbo, the uppermost circle of hell. We shall meet them in Canto 4. Line 70. Of all this passage, Charles Williams says, Beatrice has to ask Virgil to go. Beatrice has to ask Virgil to go. She cannot command him, though she puts her trust in his fair speech. Religion itself cannot order poetry about. The grand art is wholly autonomous. We should have been fortunate if the ministers of religion and poetry had always spoken to each other with such courtesy as these. That's from the figure of Beatrice. Line 78. The heaven whose circles narrowest run. The heaven of the moon, the smallest and nearest earth. Line 91. My nature, by God's mercy, is made such. The souls of the blessed can still pity the self-inflicted misery of the wicked, but they can no longer be hurt or infected by it. The action of pity will live forever, The passion of pity will not, says C.S. Lewis in The Great Divorce, where the subject is handled in a very illuminating way. Line 102. Ancestral Rachel. Leah and Rachel, the two wives of Jacob, figure respectively the active and the contemplative life. Line 107. The river. No literal river is intended. It is only a metaphor for human life. Line 102. The short road up the hill. This line shows clearly that the blissful mountain and Mount Purgatory are in reality one and the same. Since the beasts prevent Dante from taking the short road, he is obliged to go by the long road, i.e., through hell, to find the mountain again on the other side of the world.